What's up guys, I'm Carrie. Welcome to my YouTube channel. I finally finished all the final exams of the MBA courses. However, my computer broke the week before the final and I'm using my backup computer. But I'm trying my best to make more videos as I promised. Since many people ask me how to prepare for TOEFL and what kind of materials I used. So in today's video, I will share my overall TOEFL strategies for reading, listening, speaking, and writing. And I will tell you how to get free materials and how to use them effectively. Let's get started. I highly recommend you to start preparation on reading and listening. If you want to get a high score, these two sections are easy to get points. They are multiple choice questions, which must follow some patterns. I study to prepare reading at the beginning. First, I practice each type of reading questions, like vocabulary questions, sentence questions, and details questions. Many people suggest checking the answer choices first. No, different questions, different strategies. For example, for sentence questions, check the highlighted sentence in the article first. Check out my other videos for different strategies of reading questions later. After I became familiar with all the reading questions, I started to practice doing the whole reading passages and time myself. Remember to push yourself to finish in time. In the beginning, it's difficult to finish in 54 minutes. Don't give up. After practicing for about a week, I finally did it. I used this book, Long Preparation Course for the TOEFL IBT Test. It sorts out each reading question type, and there are also mini and complete tests for you to get used to the whole section. I borrowed the book from a community college's library, so it's free. You can find it in the library or buy it on Amazon. I provide the link in the description below. For the listening section, use the same steps like reading for preparation. I also used the Longman book for listening since I wanted to save money. There are about 6 types of listening questions. Find out the pattern and summarize the strategies for each question type. Then practice on the whole section like what you do for reading. Remember, you can only listen to each passage one time. So take notes and answer the questions after listening only once. However, if you don't understand the passages at the first time, listen again. After checking the answers, I always read the transcript to figure out which part I missed. And you'll find many patterns in the listening passages since they are designed for multiple choices. I will make some videos about them later. To be honest, listening is more difficult than reading. It takes more time and there's no shortcut. You need to listen more to get your ears used to it. Although I'm in the MBA program, listening is still the most challenging part. I still practice listening every day. After you become better with questions in reading and listening, you can start the speaking and writing sessions. Since there's no answer for you to choose, speaking and writing are much more difficult than reading and listening. For the speaking part, there are still 6 tests in the speaking practice of the Longman book. The new TOEFL deletes Test 1 and Test 5, so don't practice them anymore. For the integrated tests, many people tend to neglect the listening portion like me. The listening part in the speaking section is shorter and faster and has fewer contests. If you don't understand it, you can't answer the questions later. Before we move on, please share my videos and subscribe to my channel. Don't forget to hit the bell button. Let's continue. In the speaking section, templates can help you follow the patterns and answer the questions in a short time, since they are less than 30 seconds for preparation. I used to change my templates after watching different YouTube videos. If you change the templates again and again like me, don't do it because it doesn't help. These YouTubers are either native speakers or speak English very fluently. Templates are only the structures of your answer, but the contents are the course. Practice more on fluency and conciseness. Try to speak English as much as possible in daily life. Because of the pandemic, I wasn't able to hang out with friends or native speakers, so I always talk to myself on different topics or participate in English activities on Zoom. Remember to record yourself when practicing. Listen to them again to see if you will make any mistakes or send them to native speakers asking for their opinions. Like listening, speaking also takes a long time to improve. You need to prepare more time for it. The last section is writing. Like reading, it can be improved quickly. If you want to get a high score in a short time, practice more on reading and writing. The first tip is to write fast. I made a video about writing speed. You can check it out later. There are 2 tests in writing. In integrated writing, using a template is critical, since the template can take up half the amount of your writing answer. Remember to practice listening too. In general, integrated writing isn't too difficult, so I spend more time practicing independent writing. Like speaking, the template for independent writing is the structure rather than the core. You need to practice writing arguing your ideas logically and clearly. No need to use advanced vocabulary or complicated sentence structures. I kept practicing at least 1 independent writing every day. I highly recommend 2 free websites called TOEFL Resources and Grammarly. I put the links in the description below. There are many writing topics and samples on TOEFL Resources. Once I finished writing, I used Grammarly to check my writing and compare them with the samples. After you become familiar with all questions, it's time to practice on mock tests. I practice at least 4 mock tests per week. Every time, I follow the same time requirement of the real test. At the first time, I felt exhausted, but I got better after practicing a few times. I borrowed all textbooks from a community college's library, so they are all free. The blue official guidebook is easier than the real test, so don't buy it if you can't get it for free. The red official textbook is a little bit more difficult than the real test, so don't be discouraged. The purple Kaplan book also sorts out each question type like the Longman book, but I only practice the mock tests. Also, I practice on 2 free websites, Savant and TOEFL Bank. Since Savant wasn't stable on the internet, it was difficult to count time, so I only practiced on a few reading tests there. The reading levels were similar to the real test. I highly recommend TOEFL Bank. TOEFL Bank can grade your speaking and writing, but its disadvantage was the speaking and writing questions were easier than the real test. I will put all these links in the description below. I will make more videos on detailed strategies and tips for each section and show you how to apply them to solve problems. Stay tuned. Hope you find this video helpful. Please share my videos and subscribe to my channel to help me make English learning available to everyone. Don't forget to hit the bell button. Thank you for watching. See ya!